Hey guys, welcome to today's live episode. I'm Dr. Christopher Liu, founder and CEO of Financial Freedom Podcast, and I have Brandon Barnum. He's the founder and CEO of HOA.com, and he's got a really interesting story and a background. He's often referred to as the king of referrals. He's an entrepreneur. He's done so many great things. I can't list everything, but today's going to be talking about relationships, social capital, networking, social media, social influence, something really in this new day and age, social capital, attention currency. And I'm happy to welcome him to the show. Welcome, Brandon.
Thank you, Christopher. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, so we're on Podmatch and we're live streaming. And tell people your story, your background, how you got started, and we'll dive into it.
Yeah, you bet. I got started back in the late 90s. I was a single dad. I got custody of my son, and I was only making about $20,000 a year when I got custody of him, and I had to make a change because obviously now it wasn't just about me. So I got into the mortgage industry, and I had somebody teach me the art and the science of generating what I can now call raving referrals, and it helped me 10x my income in 18 months from $20,000 to $200,000 a year. And since then, I've just been on a mission to empower as many people as possible with that strategy and that training. And I've really been focused for the last 13 years on building technology platforms to help people generate more referrals. So my last platform was called Refer.com. We built that up to 5 million members in about 190 different countries. And it was just all about helping people connect and do more business together.
Yeah, I love that. And kind of setting the stage because we've got audience from all over. We've got Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, everywhere, and kind of talk to people about this new age of social capital, social influence. Attention is a new currency, and people using attention as currency are actually using it to get financially free.
Absolutely. You know, I always say to people, it's not who you know, it's who knows you. And that's never been more true than today. And the beauty is with social media, you have people that you can partner with that are serving your perfect prospects every day so that you can gain knowledge, gain wisdom, but also gain exposure to the market and get your message out to the masses. So that's why I do things like these podcast interviews and really just trying to help as many people as possible. And when you partner with people that are serving your perfect prospects or patients in this case, then you can reach a lot more people faster and build that credibility, which builds up the trust factor.
Yeah, I love this idea. You talked about platforms, and some of the most profitable companies these days have built platforms. Apple with the App Store, Lyft, DoorDash, Airbnb, all these are like platforms now. And it's basically what you're talking about, this infinite scalability where you're not trading, 1 hour for X dollars, but you're actually building something that people can come and engage, create, network. Which brings us to the question is talking about networking and creating profitable partnerships, collaborating. Kind of what are your tips to make it fun, fast, and effective?
Well, first and foremost, you got to have a plan and you've got to meet with people that you like doing business with. Ultimately, it is a long-term game. This is not the 10-yard dash. This is the marathon, right? And so if you want to win the long game, then you build partnerships with people over a long term. But one of the tips is really identifying who's already serving your perfect audience, the people that you want to be in front of, and how can you add value to them. So, doing podcasts is a great way to get your message out to the masses. You can do things like Podmatch and find people that are already helping the people that you want to help. But then look for ways to add as much value as possible and create that. We always teach 1 + 1 is 11, right? Create that synergy and then create a plan of action. One of the things I do, Christopher, is after I come on an interview like this, you're going to provide me with a link and with information that I can help share you with our audience. So this is a great example of what we call co-marketing, but it's really all about serving people.
Yeah. I love this. It's all about, in this type of capital, it's all about giving and serving. And it's not, you can actually monetize it, but initially it's more just about the free flow of that goodwill, and that relationship capital is how it almost kind of relationship karma. And I love this idea that you described earlier, which was this idea of charity champions and partner, promote, and prosper with great charities and causes.
Yeah, huge. I'm a massive fan of being a charity champion. I think every business owner and it needs to incorporate charities into what they do. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, share that with the people that you're serving, and they'll care more because they know you care. For me, I'm a big brother, and I'm also an ambassador for Big Brothers Big Sisters, and my wife and I both do it. We love it. It doesn't take a ton of time. People are surprised because they think it's going to be a big time commitment, but the reality is you can do as little as a couple hours a month. Where my wife got started, she started having lunch with this girl that was in elementary school, and they would have lunch together twice a month. So it took her about 2 hours a month. But that the impact that makes on that person is huge. And if you're a business owner and you start to tell the story of what you're doing in your community to make a difference, it makes a huge difference, because 93% of consumers say they want to know what you are doing to impact your community.
Which brings us to the next question, is maximizing your influence and creating strategic alliances to expand your income, influence, as well as your network.
Yeah, absolutely. Strategic alliances are incredibly powerful. I was just on with the CEO last week of a company that's 4.5 million members, and we're working on a strategic alliance with HOA.com. You mentioned platforms. That's really what we're doing here at HOA.com, is creating a platform that supports people in creating partnerships, what I call referral partnerships. We teach the referral partner blueprint. We put that up so it's a little more visible for you. And people can download that at HOA.com/blueprint. But that's all about how do you identify the people to create a partnership with. And it should be people that you enjoy hanging out with, but people that are serving your patients. For example, every single day, you probably have some people that are in the sort of elective healthcare world, right, where they're doing high-end medical procedures. And, think about partnering with day spas or anti-aging clinics, somebody that's already attracting someone, a client in, that would be a perfect fit for your business.
Yeah. And the other thing you mentioned earlier on is this another way of giving back is through this relationship capital framework, is appreciation and growing your business through praise and parties and giving back and contribution. Elaborate that for the audience.
Yeah, well, one of the things that we recommend people do is a client or a patient appreciation day, right? And that could be as fun as something like going to Topgolf, or you can have it in your office, of course, but create ways that you can really give back to your patients and your clients. And then also, if you partner with the other vendors or strategic alliances that you have and incorporate them into the process, now suddenly they're inviting people into your business. They're filling your funnel, if you will, with people that would love to do business with you. And now they know about your business or your practice because of other people spreading the word.
So I'm going to switch gears. We talked about this thing, or this era of relationship and social capital, and kind of talk about, I'm always interested in what the future of influencer marketing looks like. How is it going to change, especially with AI? I'm just curious to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, well, my thoughts are that, number one, everybody's got to be building their community. There's some businesses that don't need to rely on community as much. However, those that create community are the ones that really see a success expansion in their business. And so when you think about that, there's a way to get the word out about what you're doing. It could be a lunch and learn. It could be partnering with podcasters like you, Christopher, that already are looking for great content. And if you can bring your expertise, you add value to them and to everyone they serve. So I think in this next phase, what we're going to see is AI is going to continue to proliferate, but people are going to be following people that they resonate with. And so if you can partner with those and add value to them, maybe you start your own podcast and have people like Christopher come on as a guest in your podcast.
You mentioned podcasting because now the modern day speaking tour, you can actually just go on to podcasts and YouTube and, lives and webinars. You really don't need to travel and get on a plane. You can just, YouTube and has been this modern day podcasting and speaking tour. How do people utilize social media to find new clients, community, without spending money on leads?
Yeah, well, we don't advise people buy leads. We recommend that you invest in your business and in your partnerships and co-market, cross-promote with the people that you enjoy and that add a good value to the people that you're serving. So with social media, it's about creating consistent content, getting your word out there, and being real. People they can feel it, they can sense when you're a BS artist. So don't do that. Just be real and focus on giving content that makes a difference in their lives. And if you can create something that's meaningful and memorable, they're going to pass it on to everybody that they know, but you also need to invite them in. So when you're creating content, ask them to like it, to share, to follow your either personal or professional page, as well as your social media content. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. So be sure to ask in your call to action.
Yeah, which you talk about this idea of mastering the art of ask in order to get what you want in life. And it's all about how you approach it. So kind of talk to people about how to use social media and how to master the art of the ask.
Yeah, in the art of the ask, we have 3 steps. The first step is to set the stage. The second step is to listen for the triggers. And then the third step is to ASK to GET. So in the first step, and let's say you're a plastic surgeon, for example, just so we can use an example. What you want to do before that patient leaves your office after they've decided to move forward, you want to let them know that you're going to do a great job. And ultimately, it's a commitment to do an amazing job and to wow your clients. So what you do is you say, before I let you go, would it be okay if I ask for a favor? Everyone will say yes or tell me more, right? You say, absolutely. We're so committed to wowing you with the result that we're going to deliver to you that once we have, and after you love the results of the surgery, would it be okay if we ask you for referrals at a later date? Now, you're not putting them on the spot right now, so you're not making them feel uncomfortable. You're really planting seeds, and you're saying, I'm going to wow you with what we're going to do for you. And then that's step 1, setting the stage. Now you want to listen for the referral triggers, which that is post-op, right? Is, oh my gosh, this looks amazing. I feel so great. I feel so sexy. This is everything I hope. Whatever that is, you're listening for the referral triggers, which is an expression of appreciation. Thank you, doctor. This helps me look and feel great. Then what you want to do is ASK to GET. I'm so glad you feel that way. Our practice runs on referrals. And, as you're showing off your new smile, your new whatever it is that you've just delivered to them, then I would love you to help refer others to our practice, because we love helping people feel amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And what you described was very similar to what Gary Vaynerchuk talks about. He talks about this jab, 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 punch. Basically, you just give, and then it's just so much value. And then, the fourth is just kind of ask. It could be a referral, could be affiliate, could be, sign up for an email list. The ask could, involve more and more commitment. I love this. It's not, it's funny because on LinkedIn, I get these outreach, the friend, and then once you make the connection, they start spamming you with all these. It's just
I call it pitch slapping, Christopher. Yeah. They pitch slap you. Like I was just in my LinkedIn before we jumped on here, and these new connections that reached out say they want to be a connection. And then as soon as you accept them, it's like this diatribe of everything that they can do and listen to all and look at, and it's just pitch slapping. It's like there's no relationship there.
Yeah.
So don't be that guy.
And I get about 20 of those a day, and it's just kind of and then it's like, get on my calendar and let's, and then after that they try and pitch you and it's just
no, you want to add value to every single conversation that you have. And so always be on the lookout. One of my mentors is Mark Victor Hansen. He wrote those Chicken Soup for the Soul books, and he's been my mentor for the last 19 years. And the reason for that is as soon as we met, I was on the lookout for ways that I could add value to him. And I added enough value that he agreed to be my mentor, and has changed my life because of how large he thinks and how he's expanded my thinking. But the biggest difference is to always be that giver, and giver's gain. You probably heard that before, but go out of your way to make a difference to people, and they'll go out of their way to make a difference for you.
Yeah, I love this. And the next transition is talking about how can one learn everything they need to effectively communicate with a client in 90 seconds.
Yeah, so that's a system that we call B.A.N.K code, and B.A.N.K code is a personality science, much like DIS for Myers-Briggs. And what it is, I use these cards that I take with me when I meet with somebody. Now, we actually built an AI for this, but with these cards, I tell people, do you want to see a magic trick? And of course, they always say yes, right? And then I hand them these cards and I say, read the information on these 4 cards and then sort them in the order of what's most like you to least like you. That'll help me serve you better and save us both time. And what happens is it takes them about a minute, and they put the cards in the order of whatever's right for them, and then they hand me their cards back. And it's like they've just handed me the keys to the kingdom, right? They've just told me exactly who they are. It's not going to work on my little Zoom virtual screen here, but basically what happens is I'll spend the next 2 minutes describing back to them who they've just handed me their code and said that they are. And within those 3 minutes, it builds more rapport because they know that I know who they are. And now I can customize my conversation and my presentation in a way that's really going to land for them and add as much value as possible.
Yeah. And kind of I've really enjoyed this conversation, and I really love this idea of, again, this new idea of social capital and using attention as currency and leveraging social media to unlock this huge value transfer, reach millions of clients instant. No need for gatekeepers, and for a fraction of the cost these days. One final question that I like is, what is the number one piece of advice you have for someone growing their business? And if somebody's interested in checking you out, where can they find you? I know you're omnipresent 24/7. So tell people how they can find you.
Well, first of all, let's address that first question, which is one last piece of advice. The biggest thing that I can do to help you is tell you to get crystal clear on exactly what it is that you want in life. What is it you want to create, achieve, manifest, whatever that is, write it down, have goals. For me, I have hundreds of goals, and they're right here on my desk, and I've got them listed out, and I've got a date for every single one of them that I want to accomplish. I just got to cross off going to the top of the Eiffel Tower in Paris a couple months ago. A week ago, I was just at the grand opening of the Sphere in Las Vegas at the U2 concert. And so that happens because you write down what it is you want to accomplish. I got to meet Bono because I wrote it down years ago that I wanted to meet Bono. So get clear about what it is that you want for your business and for yourself, for your family. Write it down. Those goals set the path in motion of helping you achieve and attract what it is that you want. Now, as far as connecting with me, that's super simple. You can do that at brandonbarnum.com. If you go to Brandon, you'll see links to HOA.com, to Raving Referrals, which is the book that I've written. And if you want to learn more about our referral system, you can check that out there. And I'd love to connect with you and add as much value as I can.
Yeah, awesome. And I love the process of writing a goal down and being very specific, and you have a date, and it's almost present tense as if it's already happened. It's almost like 75% of the way, and it's just kind of like tunes your RAS and puts you in motion towards getting what you want. Really fantastic conversation. I really enjoyed this. Thanks to all the audience and viewers out there on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube. And this will be reposted as a podcast, and all of Brandon's resources will be in the links and show notes. Be sure to check out HOA.com. Be sure to check out his book as well, Raving Referrals. It's on Amazon, and leave a rating review. And with that, thanks so much for coming onto the podcast.
My pleasure, Christopher. Thanks, everyone.